Word on the field at the same time as much as possible. They're taking on the Seahawks, who beat them a couple of weeks ago. That's one of 4 regional games on our NBC lineup for this Sunday, and we're back to wrap things up on this edition of NFL Live right after this.
Buying a new car is a big step. With many car makers, the minute you drive it out the door, you may feel like you're on your own. But at Oldsmobile, you're covered by the Oldsmobile Edge, the most comprehensive owner satisfaction program in the industry. It's standard on every new Oldsmobile. We're with you every step of the way.
It's the new generation of old.
This Christmas, make Radio Shack your telephone store with our great selection of quality phones, unique phones for every home, and sophisticated phones for business. Look at these stylish designer phones, or cordless phones to go with you anywhere. Special feature phones for special needs, plus answering machines for everyone, and every accessory you need. That's why we're America's telephone company.
Radio Shack, America's technology store. Nobody compares for Christmas shopping.
The product, the proving grounds, the results. STP gas treatment is the edge.
Some people think it's a great idea for you to buy a second-rate antifreeze. Not all antifreeze is the same. Nothing beats Presto. And that's something you might appreciate down the road.
I've set the time machine ahead 40 years.
Cold filtered, never heat pasteurized Miller Genuine Draft.
Don't worry, Judy. I'm sure the future will be a very cool place.
For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
It worked.
Juice, what are your thoughts on this chop block or alleged chop block controversy with the Jets?
Well, the league may have exonerated Bruce Coslet and the Jets for chop blocking in the Cowboy game, but the block that I saw in that film in the Buffalo Bill game was definitely a chop block. Normally a team will do it when they don't think their tackle can handle a defensive end. We in Buffalo did it when I played against Claude Humphreys and hit the guy a couple of times. Well, hey, he's not going to worry about getting to the quarterback. He's going to worry about, you know, keeping his career going.
So you think the Jets have done it, at least occasionally?
Definitely in the films that I've seen.
All right. For Will McDonough and O.J. Simpson, I'm Bob Costas. We'll send you out to the game sites right now. We're back at halftime with all the scores and highlights. We'll see you later in the day, everybody.
When you own your own business, you sweat every detail.
Avis is the only major rent-a-car company owned by its employees, and they're trying harder with a 49-step quality control program to give you a well-maintained car. Avis, we're trying harder than ever.
When you own the business and your customer needs something fast, you do it.
Avis is the only major rent-a-car company owned by its employees, and they're trying harder with a computerized return system to get you on your way faster. Avis, we're trying harder than ever.
The big prediction.
A great quake right here in the Los Angeles base.
The big cover-up.
You can make a lot of enemies.
The big event. The big one tonight on NBC.
Some people think there should be a law about replanting trees in our state, and there is. It says you must restock a forest within 3 to 6 years of harvesting. At Weyerhaeuser, our standard is to replant by hand within 1 year. That's 3 times faster than the law requires. We don't have to replant this fast, but it's the best way to ensure that Oregon will always have trees. Weyerhaeuser, the tree-growing company.
Bugs Warehouse Computers celebrates our official grand opening sale as the largest computer store in the Northwest. Big savings at warehouse prices.
Star Micronics, the folks who pioneered affordable color printing, now have 2 new ways to bring vibrant color to your charts and letters. On sale now. And save desk space with Logitech TrackMan. High-resolution stationary mouse, thumb-operated for more comfort and precision. Only $89.
Bugs Warehouse Computer official grand opening sale going on now. It's a kick in the bugs.
Nature never ceases to amaze. Here in California, snacks grow on trees. We call them Blue Diamond almonds. And remarkably, they're as delicious as they are nutritious. Still more remarkable is the fact that each and every almond tree produces 52 cans of almonds every year. Exactly a can a week. So please, don't upset the delicate balance of nature. Eat a can a week. No more, no less.
Get your sports from a real sports fan. Eric Johnson, weeknights.
The 17 has finally found a home.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Seattle Seahawks versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Welcome to Arrowhead Stadium, everybody, for a very important AFC Western Division game between the Seattle Seahawks and Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams know a playoff berth. They'll need a lot of wins to get there. The Arrowhead Stadium weather conditions today, beautiful day, much different from last week when they played in cold, rainy weather here for the Raider game. It could be 70 degrees by the time the afternoon really moves along. AFC West, well, Kansas City with their win over LA last week, they're right there. Only one game back in Seattle to make a wild card position. They really have to start winning. I'm Jim Donovan along with Paul McGuire. Happy to be with Paul this afternoon. And when you talk about Kansas City and Seattle, they don't win at the other guy's place. It's that simple. Kansas City can't win in Seattle, and they didn't a couple of weeks ago. And Seattle can't win here, Paul. They haven't done it since 1980.
10 years. Isn't that unusual? You know, yesterday, Jim and I, we had a chance to talk to the players on both teams and ask them why. Now, here, Kansas City goes to Seattle. DeBerg throws 4 interceptions in a ball game, and Kansas City can't win the game with a great defensive team. Here they are down in Seattle. They haven't won here in 10 years. They don't know why. They said, we just play lousy in each other's home field.
It's that simple. It really is. The game plan should be pretty simple, too. Steve DeBerg is here. They're winning. He'll do anything to win. But Dave Krieg and Steve DeBerg today will be handing the ball an awful lot. Both teams must run.
Well, they've got 2 great backfields. But the thing about it is, when you talk to the coaches, they say we like to balance it out, 50-50 run and pass. That's not going to happen today. It'll be like 70 run, 30 pass. But the team that you see passing the football is probably going to be the team that's behind.
All right, so the passing situation, that will be the big key in this ball game as we get set for Kansas City and the Seattle Seahawks. And listen to this crowd here this afternoon. Norm Johnson ready to kick it away as Seattle will kick to Kansas City. Seattle at 3-5. Kansas City at 5-3. Seattle's got a long road stretch here now, so they must prove that they can win away from the Kingdom. And of course, they didn't even win in the Kingdom last week. A disappointing afternoon for Chuck Knox as they lost 31-14. Marty Schottenheimer on the other side had that must-win last week against Kansas City, but his offense didn't do much in that game. 9-7 was the final score. Fred Jones, Todd McNair back deep, Norm Johnson ready. And Jones takes it at the 1-yard line. And brings it out over the 15-yard line to the 16. Good pursuit there. Tackle made by Joe Kane. Here's the Chiefs' offensive line. 2 rookies, Zada and Grunhard. Grunhard back in there. He didn't play last week after the death of his father, but he's back in the lineup this week. In the backfield, we see Christian Okoye there, but you'll see a lot of Barry Word, too. And there are the wide receivers. In passing situations, here's what happens. Todd McNair comes in along with J.J. Burden and Emil Harry. So here are the Chiefs 1st and 10 out over their own 15-yard line. Stephon Page in motion. It's Okoye. And Okoye goes out to the 18-yard line, and right away we've got a flag down on the play. So Okoye carries out to the 18, but a flag is down. And that's not a good start. Holding against Seattle, which will cost him 5 and a first down. Let's take a look at Seattle's defense right now. Really a veteran front 7, but they get David Wyman back in there. Here's the call.
You're used to the hands. Today, number 71 defense, 5 yards.
First down.
Well, there is no number 71, so we'll just have to check and see on that. But David Wyman is in after he banged his knee up over the summer, so he gets into the lineup, and Darren Como goes to the outside. Then in passing situations, Como and Wyman come out. James Jefferson and a rookie, Robert Blackman, come in. And the secondary, there you see it, a veteran secondary playing this afternoon for Seattle. So it's first down and 10. Now they get the ball out over the 25-yard line. Alfredo Roberts, the tight end, in motion. Okoye again to the 31, where Rufus Porter brings him down.
But there was a great trap play by David Lutz, number 72, and that's where that hole opened up and got Okoye a chance to get upfield. Lutz will come out to the left of your screen and watch that block on Jacob Green right here, and this is where the hole is opened up. Now, Wyman is there, but Okoye breaks that. Christian is so strong, and when you tackle him, you know, Nesby Glasgow told us yesterday, you go through him. You don't try to catch him, because if you catch him, he's going to drag you.
Well, they got 7, second down and 3 now for Kansas City. So they go right back to Okoye. He's in trouble to the outside. And the Seahawks pursue well. Eugene Robinson comes up along with Rufus Porter again. And boy, that man Porter has got that great speed. You see it on a pass rush situation, but even he can string a play out too.
And what you want to do with Christian Okoye is to get him going sideways. Once he makes that turn upfield, this is the smart way to play defense against a man this size. You don't want to let him get himself settled where he can square himself and now come upfield, because now you really have to take him on. If you can string him out and run him to the sidelines, he really doesn't have the power.
So he comes out of there right now, and Todd McNair comes in along with Emil Harry as they go into their shotgun for the first time on third down, 3rd and 4. So Okoye lost one. Right across the middle, the catch is made. J.J. Burton has it. Then he gets face masked out at the 35-yard line. It was Dwayne Harper, I believe, who got his hand up in the face mask of J.J. Burton. Here's referee Tom White checking out the situation with his officiating crew.
And J.J. Burton just runs a little delay coming underneath.
There is no penalty on the play. The result of the play is a first down.
Now, wait a minute.
All right, let's watch this one.
We're going to see it at the end of this, but J.J. Burton, he just delays and comes underneath. Now, he's going back away from the play. Harper is there. Now, they're looking down, and when they see it, he does. In defense of Harper, just grabs the shoulder pads. He missed the face mask, but Burton still picks up the first down.
You know, I thought he had given up the first down when he started coming. He started to go backwards there, didn't he? 1st and 10 out at the 35. Okoye. And a good first down play out over the 41-yard line.
Now, Jimmy, see, here's the difference with Okoye. When he runs a play like that, now he picks up 5 yards because he gets his body square and he goes to the hole. The play before, on that 3rd down play where he lost a yard, stringing him out is the thing that Seattle wants to do. You cannot give him a hole to run up into.
Alfredo Roberts checks out of the lineup now at tight end. Todd McNair comes in. And Kansas City, with Okoye running the football, getting them 5 yards on first down, comes up 2nd and 5 at their own 41-yard line. 3 wide receivers. DeBerg for McNair, incomplete. Coverage on the play by Nesby Glasgow, and so it will be 3rd and 5.
And that's a timing pattern, and Nesby Glasgow read it perfectly. He was in great position. Had that ball not been thrown, if it had been thrown outside or inside more, Nesby Glasgow would have had the interception.
Boy, he had a great game up in the Kingdome against Kansas City as he forced a fumble, came up with a bunch of tackles in the game. He recovered a fumble too. He had a Super Bowl game that day. It is 3rd down and 5. Once again, shotgun and 4 wide receivers in for the Chiefs. Wide open, catch is made. Stephon Page. There's a flag down in the Kansas City backfield, though.
Is holding against Kansas City.
You got it. And this one's coming back. Wipe out the catch by Page and the first down.
Stephon Page is such a great receiver.
Holding, 79 offense, 10 yards, third down.
That's Zot. But Stephon Page, I used to do the Kansas City Chiefs preseason games when it really, people wondered, can Stephon Page make this football team? He was like their 6th or 7th receiver. And every time he got into the ball game, Jimmy, he scored. Or at least had 2 or 3 long gains.
Now they've got third down at 15, and again back into the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Good time for DeBerg. Looking for Robb Thomas down at midfield, incomplete, and Seattle does a good job defending there. A couple of penalties, though, on Kansas City on their first possession, in particular that holding call, and so they'll call on Brian Barker now to come into the game as DeBerg leaves the field.
And we're looking at a situation with 2 teams, and we talked about at the beginning that they want to run the football. They do not want to throw the ball. But more importantly, they do not want to be in a situation where it's 3rd and more than 3 or 4.
Those are the numbers on Brian Barker. Back deep for Seattle, Chris Warren, standing back at his 25-yard line. Good high punt by Barker. Backing Warren to his 18. There's a flag down by the 48-yard line. The ball also went down on the ground. Kansas City says they have it. As Chris Warren had a heck of a run back. 51-yard punt, 22-yard return, but we've got some business to straighten out here. The referee just pointed and said that it was Seattle ball. Now I would imagine he'll straighten out the penalty situation. So we got what? About our second, third conference here this afternoon.
You know, it's amazing. I never could understand why it takes so long. One guy throws the flag. All he has to do is go to the referee and tell him who it's on.
Post possession, holding, receiving team will be penalized from the point where they got possession of the ball. First down, Seattle. Timeout.
Boy, Chuck Knox is red hot as they had good field position. But then the penalty on the Chris Warren return. No fumble on the play. But watch here, right there's Warren going down, Paul. Ooh.
Well, when they replay that, it is a fumble because the ball comes out on the way down. Take a look at it right here. Now, he's not on the ground. Most importantly, look at his knees. His knees are not down. Here comes the ball out. But they say Seattle got the ball back.
We'll see what happens. They're at the 9-yard line. It's Seahawks ball right now. No score.
It may have been 30 years ago, or just yesterday, a roadster caught your eye, and you've never been quite the same. The Mazda Miata.
It just feels right.
And winds northwest 30 knots, 45 knots. Rain expected to continue till 10. 5 inches predicted in the 7-county area.
In these uncertain times, the intelligent investor focuses on current trends, watches the economic indicators, analyzes the various business sectors, developing keen insights before making a single move on Wall Street. On the other hand, the extremely intelligent investor has someone else help him do it. Prudential-based securities, rock solid, market wise.
It's Seattle ball at their own 9-yard line. Kansas City's defense got them pinned in here at Arrowhead. First possession, Dave Krieg at quarterback. Derek Fair, nothing as he went to the right side. Let's meet the Seattle offense right now. A group that has their work cut out for them on this first start. Pretty good offensive line. A change made at right tackle. Ronnie Lee for Ron Mattis. Then in the backfield, it goes like this. Krieg with that good backfield of John L. Williams and Derek Fenner. Blades, Kane, and McNeil. In passing situations, here's what happens. Fenner and McNeil come out. Paul Scansey comes in along with Jeff Chadwick. Second down and long. At the 10-yard line. Second and 8. John L. Williams, the lone back. Got to the outside and might have a first down. Let's see where they mark him out. At the 20-yard line. Good run by John L. Williams out to the 20 and a first down for Seattle. Here's the Chiefs' defensive lineup now. The front seven, good and young, I think that's the way to describe them. They are very, very good with 26 sacks coming into this game. Percy Snow, their top draft choice out of Michigan State. Passing situations, Snow and Hackett come out. Boris comes in along with Stan Petrie. Thomas becomes a down lineman, and their secondary is just fabulous. But a change is made. J.C. Pearson is in there for the injured Kevin Ross. First and 10, Seattle at the 20. Remember, they started at the 9. He just lost the ball, but he fumbled it out of bounds, so he'll really only lose about a yard.
And Kevin Porter just makes a great play coming up to stop the play. They're talking about holding. On the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see it coming here. Here comes John L. And now watch 27. Spins back out to the outside, doesn't make the play, but gets in on the play. Just dropped the football.
What a secondary this is. I mean, they defend well the pass, certainly, but as you say, they come up and support on the run.
You don't want to make a living trying to throw against them either.
Second down. And they lose 1, 11. Derek Fenner off the right side. Pushes it out close to the 24-yard line. And we get a little pushing and shoving off the pack there as Ron Heller, the tight end, gets involved with Neil Smith and Albert Lewis. There is a flag down. The Seahawks are pointing that it is against Kansas City. Tom White, busy man here early at Arrowhead on this Sunday.
They're going to wear the flags out early in the ball game.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 27, Kansas. First down.
Well, that's a big one on Kevin Porter.
Well, you said they were tough.
And mean, too.
Yeah, they are.
Out over the 35-yard line to the 38 and a first down. Here's our first look at our 10-minute ticker this afternoon. Whoa, look what's going on up at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Phoenix 7-0 over the 7-1 Bills. And there's the rest of your lineup for this afternoon.
Everybody jumps out in front of the Bills in the beginning. But then they'll come back later on and win the ball.
Usually like right in the last 40 seconds of the game. Seattle after the penalty, first down. Wide open John L. Williams, who now drops a pass. Remember, a couple of plays ago, he just dropped the ball on a running play out of his hands.
Remember when we talked about this series?
Yep.
Kansas City, they can't win in Seattle. And Seattle comes down here. 10 years they haven't won here. And they say we beat ourselves. And there is a classic example. John L. Williams, who is an excellent football player, has pretty good hands as a back. He drops the ball running with it. Now a pass hits him in the hands. He drops it. These are just mistakes, and they are mental errors.
I mean, there's a guy that leads the Seahawks in receiving with 40 catches on the year. Second and 10. Krieg gets it out of there. Fenner cannot hang on. There is another flag down deep in the Seattle backfield. And it looks like it could be holding.
And it's going to be on Ronnie Lee, number 63. I mean, you can get your hands in, but you can't kind of throw them to the ground. They frown on that, and especially when the referee is standing right in front of you.
What a tough first start. If it is indeed on Ronnie Lee, he comes in there, gets the start in place of Mattis, and has to go against this defensive line. Let's pick up the call.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 61 is declined.
Well,
holding, number 61 is accepted. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, they better get some numbers straight, because they've given us two numbers that don't even exist. It's 63 Ronnie Lee. On the top right, Lonnie Lee is to the outside, and here comes the holding right here.
On Derek Thomas.
On Derek Thomas. It's a takedown, and it's 63, folks. They'll get the number straight.
Second down and 20 now for Seattle. Looking for Tommy Kane, and it's incomplete. He got punished by J.C. Pearson and Dino Hackett.
If Dino Hackett has one more step, he picks the ball off. Dino Hackett is the linebacker playing the inside. His job is looking for the crossing pattern, and he is in perfect position. Dino Hackett, number 56, coming out to the right. He's looking at the quarterback. Look at this. If that ball is 1 yard inside, it's his.
So now it's third down and 20, back at the Seattle 28. Hackett to the sideline as they come in with their nickel package now. No score, 8:20 to go, first quarter. Seems like Seattle's had the ball for about an hour with all of these penalties. He better get out of there.
Derek Thomas is in on the play, but the guy that really makes the play is Bill Maas, number 63, coming up the middle. He just takes the lineman with him. Watch 63, Bill Maas. Now he moves up, and here he is. He'll come up, and he's right in Craig's face. He forces him out. Maas is there. They have two people on him. When he forces him out, Derek Thomas is there to make the play.
That's the 9th sack of the year for Thomas, the 27th of the year for the Chiefs defense, and Rick Donnelly stands back at his 8th. It's a good punt off. J.J. Burton calls for a fair catch, and he drifted and wandered all around the field to make that catch. A 47-yard punt by Rick Donnelly. It's a pretty good defensive battle, isn't it? Scoreless, 7:50 to go, first quarter.
When it comes to buying a color TV, many people think state-of-the-art begins overseas, when the truth is, state-of-the-art starts here. You just have to know what to ask for. Ask for the only TVs with a great picture and 4 ways to enjoy stereo sound, like Bose and Dolby Surround. Ask for picture-in-picture with triple flashback. Ask for the hottest ideas in home theater. Ask to see a Zenith. For true innovation in television, quality never looked more like a Zenith.
For naming the Mazda MPV best in class, we'd like to thank Car and Driver. For ranking it the most trouble-free minivan, J.D. Power and Associates. For naming it one of the top 10 import buys, Motor Trend. And for making the Mazda MPV the best-selling import minivan, we'd like to thank the Abbotts, the Ackermans, the Adisheks, the Agarmans,
Mazda, it just feels right.
the Altons, the Ammermans, the...
We can't win if you can't stop Ricky Henderson.
When something on your mind,
This could get ugly.
or something you eat,
Look at that jump.
gives you acid indigestion, it's time for extra strength Rolaids. Fast, 1,000 milligrams strong. Now that spells relief.
You can spot someone who saved money with a second-rate antifreeze a mile away. Not all antifreeze is the same. Nothing beats Presto. And that's something you might appreciate down the road.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Norelco Lift and Cut Shavers for a new level of closeness and comfort. By Federal Express. For documents, packages, and freight worldwide, Federal Express is absolutely, positively the best in the business. By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right.
Second possession of the afternoon for Steve DeBerg and the Kansas City Chiefs. No score. I'm Jim Donovan with Paul McGuire here from Arrowhead Stadium. Beautiful afternoon here in Kansas City. Ball is out at the 31-yard line. Timeout, Kansas City. DeBerg couldn't get it called. He had Alfredo Roberts hopping all over the place at tight end. And Marty Schottenheimer will go over and he will talk with Steve DeBerg. And Steve DeBerg is saying, Marty, I don't know what we were doing on that play. I'll tell you what. We'll just have to talk it over with Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator.
Well, Alfredo Roberts lined up in the wrong spot, and then he tried to move Jonathan Hayes out, and it confused everybody.
Well said, Paul, and we'll be right back.
He stirs in the land of dawning. He stirs now in the age of wandering. Now on the trail of beauty. He stirs.
The new Navajo from Mazda.
It just feels right. You're the top. You're the Coliseum. You're the top. You're the Louvre Museum. You're the best in beer. That fact is clear. Each drop, you're number one. Second to none. You're the top.
Heineken, America's #1 imported beer. Amstel Light, America's #1 imported light
You're
beer.
a cut above. The taste we love. Each drop, you're the best of both worlds. You're the tops.
Hurricane Hugo hit the Clarys hard. I'm their State Farm agent, Tom McQueenie. I get together with the Clarys for family insurance checkups. Home, car, life, and health. Now the Clarys have their lives back together, thanks to those checkups. State Farm has paid out almost $400 million to Hugo victims. That means State Farm agents have helped a lot of families get their lives back together.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next Saturday, Jerry Tarkanian and the national champion Running Rebels take the Soviet Union to the hoop.
Nick Lowry on the sideline. It's not that cold. There's the best, but I mean, maybe the other kickers around the league should do that. He gets all dressed up there, keep his legs warm. Got a lot of crazy habits we'll touch on this afternoon. First down, Kansas City, and Christian Okoye sends them on their way close to another first down out near the 40-yard line.
All right, you talked about Dave Wyman coming in. He hadn't played for a long time, and he's starting in the middle. And Dave Wyman's job is he's got to find Okoye and get him. Now, watch 92. He goes to his right. He steps up. He gets caught inside just a little bit too much. And then when Okoye comes down, he can't get himself squared up to hit Okoye. He tries to get an arm on him, and that's not going to do it.
Tight ends coming out. Jonathan Hayes limping out right now to the sideline, being helped off by Stephon Page. So Alfredo Roberts comes in along with Dante Whitaker at tight end. Second down, 1. Okoye pushes and pushes and gets the first down to the 45. There's a case where he just pushed on the pack, led out there by the fullback, Bill Jones, who's a good blocking back.
Bill Jones is an excellent blocking back.
He really is.
And Okoye likes to get in behind him because if he can go someplace, Okoye can too. And when Bill Jones gets to the hole, all he really...
Defensive man. Already in the game, Okoye has 6 runs, 29 yards. And Kansas City has a first down now, out over their own 45-yard line. No score. 6.5 remaining here in the first half. First quarter. Ball is out at the 45-yard line. I understand we are right now without a picture here at Arrowhead Stadium. So Steve DeBerg is back to pass. He's looking long for Robb Thomas down at the 15-yard line, and it's incomplete. Patrick Hunter was on the coverage for Seattle, as we'll switch to more of a radio call here for you this afternoon. And on the second down and 10 play, DeBerg fired it out long to Thomas, and it was incomplete. He had him down there, but just a little bit too long.
The best, I think the best play-action passer in football is DeBerg. And that time what he did is he ran the play action, which freezes the linebackers and also the weak side safety. Then he got the matchup that he wanted with Robb Thomas going downfield on Patrick Hunter one-on-one. When you get that matchup, you've got to go deep.
It is second down and 10. The ball is out at the 46-yard line of Kansas City here at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. No score between the Chiefs and Seahawks. DeBerg gives the ball off right side. Here comes Christian Okoye. Gets away from a Jacob Green tackle in the backfield and gets the ball up to the 48-yard line before he's driven out on the Kansas City sideline by Como and Jacob Green. Green had him in the backfield but couldn't hold on.
Jacob Green is going to be the most frustrated man on the field right now because Jacob Green broke free into the backfield and had Christian Okoye for about a 6-yard loss. And all Okoye did was stick his arm in Jacob Green's face, pushed him aside, and then picked up 3 yards on the play.
So it is third down and 8. Once again, we are working on getting our picture back here at Kansas City. Kansas City has the ball out at their own 48-yard. And Steve DeBerg in the shotgun. He's got Todd McNair in the backfield with him on the left sideline. And now we rejoin you with the pictures to put the sound together with you. Robb Thomas cannot hang on at the 50-yard line. Nailed by Eugene Robinson. And And Seattle doing a nice job on defense as they will send in Kansas City special teams now to punt the ball away.
And that time Seattle sitting back in a zone defense, and Eugene Robinson, all he wanted to do is have Robb Thomas catch the ball in front of him. Robb Thomas bobbled it just momentarily. It gave Robinson enough time to hit him.
Barker had a good first punt, as you saw. 52 yards. Chris Warren waiting down at the 10-yard line of Seattle. Fair catch, and hangs on at the 15-yard line. So Seattle will get their second possession, and we're all put back together here at Arrowhead Stadium. No score, 5:12 to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back.
Basketball practice at 4 o'clock. I better get coming.
Mom's bringing his boss home for dinner. I'd better make something special.
Is it possible? We've had that refrigerator since '84.
Hey, listen to this. Car expenses took 10% of the budget last month.
Yeah, Mom, I finished with my homework. Yay! You're good at this game.
Finally, a computer so easy to use it guarantees success. The Tandy 1000 RL with 24 built-in home organizing solutions. Now on sale. Only at Radio Shack, America's technology store. Nobody compares for Christmas shopping.
On Wall Street, fortunes are won and lost and won again before 10:30. Amid the halls of ivy, the best ideas often come and go before 10:30. And on the back lots of Hollywood, love often blooms and fades before 10:30. Which is why Federal Express delivers before 10:30 at more places around the country than anyone else. Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business.
Attackers can hide under cars, so check underneath as you approach. Keep a small flashlight on your keyring to help you see, or ask someone to walk you to your car. Learn more in the driver security book, free from Shell.
KC, San Diego, thunder and lightning. Ow! Next Sunday.
Just about a full house in here this afternoon at Arrowhead Stadium as the Chiefs 5-3 really electrifying the town. Their real spirited play and the way they played last week against the Raiders.
No touchdowns, though. 3 field goals win the ball game.
You know, their offense hasn't played well now the last couple of weeks because, remember, before their bye, they went up to Seattle and laid an egg up there. 2 tight ends in the game for the Seahawks, Heller and McNeil. This is Derek Fenner. We got a flag thrown as he spins out to the 21-yard line.
Illegal motion.
That's the 6th penalty already here in the first quarter. 6 total penalty. 4 on Seattle now.
See, fullbacks are supposed to block.
Illegal motion. Offense.
John L. Williams is a fullback. Fenner gets the ball, and his job is to lead the play. Now, we saw Jones leading the play for Okoye. Look, number 32, John L. Williams. First of all, he moves. Yeah. That's the motion here. Now watch this block. It's devastating. Absolutely devastating. He almost touched his own man, which was, you know, I know that, you know, you can see red shirts, can't you?
Yes. Back to the 10-yard line now, 1st and 15. They have not been blessed with good field position on their first 2 starts. Fenner. Nice run by Fenner out to the 19-yard line as he got away from J.C. Pearson on the corner and then cut it back for a big gain.
Now, the difference now, John L. Williams blocks, so it enables Fenner to run. Here he comes at you. Number 32 is John L. Williams. Fenner's in number 44 behind. Here is the block. When you make the block on Albert Lewis, Pearson misses the tackle, or Fenner makes him miss, and they pick up about 9 yards on the play.
2nd down. And 7 to go for a first down. Back split in the backfield, Fenner and John L. Williams. They go to John L. Williams. He's in trouble and hit hard. What a play by
Now, When you look at this play and you see what happens, and you wonder, well, how does Porter, who is a safety, come up and make a play like that? Because the defensive line and linebackers are stringing it out. Watch this. They tie up the offensive lineman, and here comes Porter. He sees the opening, gets through, gets John L. Williams in the backfield. But the defensive line and linebackers did their job, contained the offensive lineman.
A loss all the way back to the 15-yard line, and now you have to expect that Krieg will really see a big rush. Shotgun, 3rd and 10. Look out! Derek Thomas on the prowl at the 1-yard line.
Neil Smith is the man that really put the heat on Krieg, that forced him into Derek Thomas. Now, Derek Thomas ends up with 2 sacks because other defensive linemen are doing a job. On the left of your screen, here comes Neil. He's there. Thomas is there. Krieg has no place to go but down. All right, here's Derek Thomas. Watch this. He gets inside Williams, who does not block again, and Krieg has no place to go but down.
All right, watch out for this Kansas City special teams right here. They've blocked 5 punts, and Donnelly is right on the back of his end zone. There's a flag down. J.J. Burton for Kansas City. It is at the 40-yard line and hit at the 39. But we'll check out the penalty. Referee Tom White.
They have delay of game. The clock.
There is no play. Delay of game before the snap, half the distance to the goal.
Half the distance is going to be like a fingernail away from the goal line, because that's how close they are.
You can't penalize them anymore. That time, the Kansas City Chiefs had a return on. Now the question is, do they go after it?
Look at where that ball is, Paul. How far can he be punting? This is not a normal distance back, right?
You're supposed to. Punters will get 15 yards, Jimmy. They like that 15-yard cushion back there. But in this situation, he's only going to be allowed. Donnelly is about 9.5 yards because he's stepping on the back line. If his back foot steps back, it's a safety.
And if they block another one, it's a new NFL record. Did a heck of a job to get that off. And a spiral to boot. A bad bounce, though. And it hits Nesby Glasgow at the 32-yard line. Rick Donnelly, take a deep breath as you go back to the sideline.
Well, his only job is to get the ball off as fast as possible. Don't try to be cute. Watch this. 2 steps and bang. He did a great job getting the ball off. Could not get extension of his leg. That's why the ball went so short. But the only thing they say is get it out of there. We don't care where you put it. Get it out. The defense is playing well.
A 31-yard punt. Now, for the first time today, we see Barry Word in the lineup for Kansas City, spelling Christian Okoye. DeBerg on 1st and 10 at the Seattle 32. Well, Barry Word's fresh, isn't he, to the 20. And a first down.
He just ran over Lutz and Baldinger on the right-hand side of that offensive line. And that hole opens up. He gets to the hole quicker than Christian Okoye. And he's got some moves. But again, he's following Bill Jones into the hole. There's Lutz, number 72, making the block. If they would have gotten the block downfield by Alfredo Roberts, number 87, Word might have had a touchdown.
Boy, you're picking on all these guys that aren't blocking today.
That's what their job is. You're supposed to block.
A minute and a half to go in the first quarter. Fake, bootleg, throws it. Almost intercepted by Cortez Kennedy. The rookie from Miami, Cortez Kennedy, had it right in his paws.
Tony Woods tips the ball on DeBerg. They were just trying a little shot to the outside. And Cortez Kennedy, the ball hits him in the hands. Here's Woods right here. He tips the ball. And watch this. Cortez is trying to catch it and run. Just catch it, Cortez, because you're not going to make it to the other end anyway.
2nd down 10. Kansas City fortunate now to get the ball and hold on to it after that man, Cortez Kennedy, had the ball right in his hands but dropped it. Barry Word is the lone back. Here's Word. slipped away. At the 15-yard line, he gets 5. Let's go to New York right now for the first time this afternoon. Bob Costas with an NFL Live update.
New England, losers of 6 in a row, out in front of Indianapolis, the last team they beat earlier in the season. It's 7-0 after Marvin Allen's 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. They've now moved to the second. Patriots 7, Colts zip. Back to Jim and Paul.
Thanks, Bob. Inside the last minute now here in the first quarter at Arrowhead Stadium. Steve DeBerg, shotgun formation, 3rd and 5 for Kansas City at the Seattle 15. Stephon Page with a stretching catch to the 9. 1st and goal.
Isn't he something? I mean, this pass is Stephon Page's because this ball was way outside of him, and he just dove and made the catch. DeBerg going back, he's in the shotgun, and look at DeBerg. He's got Stephon Page all the way. That's the man he's throwing the ball to, but look at this catch. Perfect throw, down low, no place for the defensive man to go. Page gets off of Hunter, and right there for the play, or Harper, excuse me.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. And that's the end of the first quarter. No score, but Kansas City knocking right on the door. It's 1st down and goal at the Seattle 9 when we come back to Arrowhead Stadium.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents Legends of the Game. He was one of the first prizes in the NFL-AFL bidding wars and went on to be named to the AFL all-time team. He scored 6 touchdowns on interception returns, the most by any linebacker in NFL history. The first Chiefs player elected to the Hall of Fame. Who was this legend?
Liberty Mutual presents The Accident That Never Happened. Because as America's largest insurer for workers' compensation, Liberty Mutual has done more to help prevent injuries on the job than any other insurance company. Caring for people is why America believes in liberty.
Great view, huh?
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Bobby Bell was the first outside linebacker ever named to the Hall of Fame, a true legend of the game.
Now, Norelco has taken a razor that was seemingly perfect and made it better by giving you a new level of closeness without giving up any of our legendary comfort. Norelco's patented lift and cut system has been improved to lift each hair and cut it even closer without the blades touching your skin, giving you an even closer shave with the same incredible comfort. The new Norelco, a whole new level of closeness and comfort.
The big one hits America on NBC tonight.
Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City. I'm Jim Donovan and Paul McGuire. We have just played a scoreless opening 15 minutes. As we start the second quarter, though, Kansas City is right there. 1st and goal inside the Seattle 10-yard line. Barry Word, Bill Jones in the I formation behind Steve DeBerg. Word sweeping. Flag is thrown as he gets down to the 8-yard line.
We're going to have holding. I think it's on Alfredo Roberts.
Been a lot of flags down here on the Arrowhead Stadium carpet through the first 15 and a half minutes of this game. Jacob Green listening in. Might have 2 penalties on the play, Paul.
Well, there's a flag down where the ball at about the 6-yard line.
Use of the hands. Number 27 defense. Holding. Offense. The penalty's all set. Replay 1st down.
So they get to do it all over again at the 9-yard line. Hunter flagged for illegal use of the hands, and as Paul said, he thought that Alfredo Roberts might have been tagged on the Chiefs side. Now Christian Okoye has checked back in for Kansas City, and Barry Word comes out. Now, when we talked with the Chiefs yesterday, Joe Pendry said that you could at some time see Okoye and Word in the backfield at the same time. There's Pendry. But right now it's Okoye and Bill Jones. Stephon Page in motion. Okoye. Hit at the 5, down to the the 3. Dwayne Harper cut him off at the corner.
Well, Nesby Glasgow got hit because Bill Jones hits him, and Christian Okoye just bounces to the outside. 43 is Jones, and watch, here comes Nesby Glasgow. He just gets popped right there on the shoulder and blocked to the inside also. And then Christian Okoye sees that block and continues back to the outside and takes the ball inside the 5.
Okoye now with 36 yards rushing. And we have a Seahawk player down.
That's Nesby Glasgow. He got popped right in the shoulder. He got double teamed on the play, but the damage, I think, was done by Bill Jones when he caught him shoulder to shoulder.
You know, it looked like he almost got hit by not only Jones, but Stephon Page.
Yeah,
They got him on each side.
Yeah, Stephon Page came to the inside and was taking him inside, and Jones wasn't really supposed to block Nesby Glasgow, but he gets a piece of him. Watch Jones's right shoulder and Nesby's right shoulder. They hit right here is where the pop is. And then Nesby went down.
So Nesby Glasgow is down, and they tend to him on the field. We'll be back to Kansas City. Still no score here at Arrowhead Stadium.
Just a reminder, proper maintenance with AC Delco parts can significantly reduce premature wrinkles. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
Nesby Glasgow walks off to the sideline under his own power. Still no score here in Kansas City. Jim Donovan along with Paul McGuire. Steve DeBerg working the Kansas City huddle right now. 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Christian Okoye has checked out, and Barry Ward is in.
Is that double teaming? You got 2 big backs like that?
The consistent part is that Bill Jones stays in at fullback.
Give Bill Jones the ball. They won't expect it.
Barry Ward is hit by Rufus Porter. And I'll tell you something, Porter had to be able to guess on the snap because he was in that backfield so quickly.
Rufus Porter was in the backfield, but Bill Jones, the fullback, ran right by him. Never took a piece of him. And he was right in his face. Bill Jones has got to take the first guy. Here comes Porter. Here comes Jones. Watch this. He ducked his head. Missed Porter. And a loss.
3rd down and goal. Kansas City trying to get it in. Todd McNair in the backfield now as the shotgun is employed. Blitz by Jacob Green, and he knocks the ball down. They were coming with everybody. And Nick Lowry will come in to attempt the field goal now. Now, Lowry's the hero of last week. He kicking 3 field goals. Now, Marty Schottenheimer tipped us off yesterday to watch Nick Lowry as he sets up for a field goal. He will go through some of the craziest antics you'll see.
But the worst part, the funny part about it is he starts out with sweatpants, and it is almost 70 degrees here, but he wears them all the time anyway on the sideline. And
Right.
now he's pointing, getting everything set. That's where it's going to be.
That's Steve Pelura's holder.
Okay,
now he's going to take a walk.
Now he goes back 5 yards. He's going to do a little calisthenics, fix his helmet, blow his nose. Does a little bit of everything.
He's still very far away now from the ball.
His hands are important.
He's ready. And that's usually the result. 25-yard field goal splits the uprights. All of that. And a handshake to boot. And we've got our first points with 13:02 to go here in the first half. Kansas City by 3.
They say the one on top has all the power. Which could be why more truck owners switched to Chevy last year than to any other truck. The top standard horsepower and the top available horsepower, our 454 SS, helped make Chevrolet America's favorite half-ton pickup. For power at the top, more people are winning with.
The heartbeat of America, today's truck is Chevrolet.
Coal filtered, never heat pasteurized.
What happened? The car just kind of...
Ask him.
Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Heard from an old student. Remember Brian McKenna? Smart kid.
Good ball player. Great hands.
Where's he going to college?
He's not. Too bad.
Studying aviation electronics.
But you said
In the Navy. Then college.
The Navy College Fund and Montgomery GI Bill. Over $25,000 for your college education.
You and the Navy.
like I said, smart kid.
Full speed ahead.
Don't tell these boys and girls it's too cold for red-hot hot rod action. The NHRA Winston Finals next Saturday.
Kansas City leads 3-0. Second quarter, 13:02 to go in the half. But I'll tell you, Paul, I would think they would have to be disappointed. Remember, that drive started at the Seattle 31-yard line, and they had the ball first and goal at the 9 and only come away with 3 points and a 25-yard field goal by Nick Lowry.
You're going to see him, I think, when they get down close again. I'll talk about it after this kickoff.
The ball coming towards Derek Lavelle of Seattle at the 6-yard line. Nice return by Lavelle out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now let's check the Xerox 10-minute ticker. Tied at the Meadowlands. Jim Kelly has one touchdown pass to Keith McKellar, and now the Bills have scored again to lead 14-7 and tied in Chicago. New England, Marvin Allen, they run in that game for a score as they lead over Indianapolis. Rich Gannon scored for the Vikings, and Tampa Bay and the Saints are tied 7-7. And here in Kansas City, we are 3-0 Chiefs on a 25-yard field goal by Nick Lowry. Seattle with the ball at their 26-yard line. Krieg rifles one right down the middle to the 31-yard line. Percy Snow is in on the tackle of Brian Blades. And the gain is out to the 32 they'll give him. About 6 yards on the play.
Seattle has the ball. What I was going to say about Kansas City, when they get the ball in an area like that, if they do it again, instead of going wide, you just send the big guys up the middle, and that's where the openings are going to be. Instead of trying to get wide with the big power backs, try to get them a little bit closer inside the tackles instead of outside. And I'm telling you right now, Seattle's going to have to try to throw the ball downfield.
Kansas City at free safety now. Deron Cherry is in. His first week back was last week against the Raiders, and Jeff Donaldson comes out. Cherry
Damn it.
battling back after major knee surgery. Here's Derek Fenner. Hops through the hole out near the 35-yard line where Dan Saliamua, the nose tackle, brings him down.
Well, when you line up like Seattle's doing with 2 tight ends and only 1 wide receiver, 2 running backs, you know that they're going to be running the football, and what they're going to try to throw is short stuff and not long, because the only wide receiver that they have is Brian Blades, number 89.
Checking it over on the Kansas City sideline right now. That's Howard Mudd, the offensive line coach of the Chiefs. They know they didn't get the job done there blocking-wise, and they had it first and goal at the 9. Now it's 3rd down and 1 for Seattle. John L. Williams.
I don't know.
To the 36-yard line, but he needed to get close to the 37 to have the first down. J.C. Pearson makes the stop for Kansas City.
They have to get almost to the 37-yard line. I think they're going to be about a half of the ball short.
It's going to be a measurement right now as they bring the sticks in. And let's look. Well, they got it. They got it by about a half a football.
Golly had the markers wrong on the other side. That's why I missed it.
Chuck Knox. He was eagle-eyed on that measurement right there. Seattle, you know, had terrible field position, really, throughout that first quarter. That was a field position game in the first quarter. Kansas City kept backing them up. Seattle punting from inside their end zone. But they weathered the storm, only giving up 3 points. Now let's see if they can move the ball as they get 1 first down.
Now 2 wide receivers. Kane is in.
Krieg throwing on first down, and John L. Williams is wide open over the middle. Deron Cherry's the last man. And he gets him down at the 10-yard line. The official now is saying he's throwing a flag against the Seattle coach who had run down the sideline.
That's Reggie McKenzie. And Brian Blades is hurt. He peeled back to block Derek Thomas.
Reggie McKenzie raced down the sideline, went well beyond the bench area and the yellow line that tells you don't go beyond that line. Well, let's go back and watch how John L. Williams was wide open.
John L. Williams comes down. Derek Thomas is trying to cover John L. coming out of the backfield. Now, coming across the field is going to be Blades right about here, and he throws and he hits Derek Thomas. Now, the reason that Reggie McKenzie ran downfield is because the play was stopped, and then Dino Hackett tackled him. And Reggie was upset, wanted a flag, but got one against him. See, right here, John L. steps out. He hears the whistle blow there. Okay, so he slows up, and watch this. Now, Dino Hackett just drills him, and that's why Reggie McKenzie came down the sidelines.
So Reggie McKenzie, an assistant coach with the Seahawks, is hit with the penalty. There's Reggie. And normally you see coaches controlling players on the sideline. Right here you see players trying to cool him off a little bit. In the meantime, we've got Brian Blades down on the turf. He's injured.
Reggie was one of the great guards for the Buffalo Bills for a lot of years in the O.J. Simpson era.
And another Seattle injury report for you. Nesby Glasgow, their fine safety, is having x-rays on his right elbow.
Reggie McKenzie, you know, he was such a competitor when O.J. played. I mean, he was the guy, one of the guys that opened the holes for O.J. Simpson. And this man does not like to lose. and he had a legitimate gripe because John L. did stop. But the question is, did Hackett hear the play or not? And it's only a whistle that's blown. He's upset, and he had a right to be.
Now, they did take a look at the play to see if John L. Williams had stepped out of bounds, which he did.
It doesn't make, once that whistle blows, it's over with anyway.
They get the ball at the 35-yard line after the penalty on the assistant coach, Reggie McKenzie. John L. Williams gets the ball again and finds some running room to the 28, where he is brought down on the play by Derek Thomas. Albert Lewis is there, too. We have 10 minutes remaining here in the first half at Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City leads on a 25-yard field goal by Nick Lowry, but Seattle is driving right now. And they're at the Kansas City 28.
Leonard Griffin just checked into the ball game, so they take out one of the linebackers, Percy Snow, and they go with 4 down linemen.
Second down 4. Craig's got Fenner open, but Chris Martin was right there. Makes the hit on him, and then Fenner dives to the 25-yard line.
It's a good play by both players. Fenner catching the ball and then getting away and picking up about 3 yards. They're going to be about a yard short of the first down.
Let's talk about Martin for a second, Paul, because when we met with him yesterday, he said that really what he's doing in that lineup right now, because he's a veteran, is he's kind of coaching along the 2 young players, Percy Snow and Derek Thomas.
I think the great thing he said about him, he said they don't realize yet how good they really are.
And Martin's a pretty good one himself. Marty Schottenheimer said he had a Pro Bowl season last year on 3rd down and 1.
No.
What a hit. Sally Amore. And Paul said it right, simply said no, did not get the first down.
They'll go for the field goal to try to tie this ball game up. They've got an excellent field goal kicker in Norm Johnson.
Johnson, as a matter of fact, was slumping the last time these 2 teams met back on the 21st of October. And up in Seattle, there were hints that maybe they were going to get rid of him. As a matter of fact, they brought other kickers in. Rich Carlos was one of them that week. He had had a bad week the week before. And in the game against Kansas City, he went 4 for 4. So now he's trying to tie this game up out of the hold of Jeff Kemp. Right through the middle. 43-yard field goal by Norm Johnson. And Seattle answers back to tie the game with 7:53 remaining here in the first half. We'll be back to Arrowhead.
Hurry and you'll make it.
Delta Airlines ticket agent Sam Singletary knows how to get people moving.
Mr. Franklin, your bag.
But sometimes he has to show off a few moves of his own. The kind of moves that made him a first-string halfback. Sam Singletary shares a feeling with everyone at Delta. He loves what he's doing, and it shows.
We love to fly,
He's the kid.
and it shows.
On every trip you take in a Chevrolet, hundreds of hours and millions of dollars have been spent to help make it a safer one. In fact, there are more MDs and PhDs working for your safety than any other car company in the world. So if this looks like an uneventful trip, we worked hard to make it that way. Mile after mile, more people are winning with.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
Sal, have you checked the batteries in the flashlight lately?
Yeah, sure. I'm tense.
A reminder to check your batteries with the new copper top tester. It's free and only from Duracell.
Dean Witter believed in listening.
Listen, not only to what our clients say, but what they mean. Each client has a level of comfort. Endeavor to find it. We measure success one investor at a time.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered for real draft taste. So get out of the old, get into the cold. By Levi's 505, 506, and 540 jeans. By Delta Airlines. We love to fly, and it shows. And by today's Chevrolet, who invites you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
Jim Donovan and Paul McGuire back with you at Arrowhead Stadium in this AFC Western Division matchup. Seattle and Kansas City. Norm Johnson's field goal of 43 yards has tied the game up, and here comes Fred Jones, just activated today. The rookie out of Grambling runs it out to the 21-yard line. Another check of our 10-minute ticker this afternoon as you follow along on Sunday number 10 around the NFL.
Miami Jets game. Miami, the best defense in the National Football League halfway through the season.
Steve DeBerg in there with 7:44 to go here in the first half. Both defenses have been pushed a little bit and moved, but they have not given up the touchdowns. Here's Cortez Kennedy, who almost had a big play in this one, just missed an interception. Kansas City at their own 21. I don't think he got the play off, Paul.
Delay a game.
A 5-yard penalty on Steve DeBerg. Remember, he called a timeout earlier in the first half when he saw the clock running down.
We talked about this at the beginning of the game. There's Marty Schottenheimer looking at what's going on. You've got
offense, 5 yards, first down.
What happens is DeBerg came up to the line of scrimmage and called an audible, and that takes time because the play was called on the sidelines and what they wanted to do. But the biggest play the Kansas City Chiefs have made was that, about 8-yard pass to Stephon Pace.
Yeah, right. They got them first and goal.
Seattle's was John L. Williams' run. It was called back because of Reggie McKenzie.
Lots of flags here in the first half, as you see. Now it's 1st and 15. DeBerg floats one out. Robb Thomas makes the catch, and he only got about a yard. And suddenly, the Boo Birds are out here at Arrowhead.
You got one guy clapping and 76,000 booing. But DeBerg, that pass took a long time to get out there.
So what happened to our running games here?
Well, you're all of a sudden you start out in a 1st and 15 situation. What you're trying to do on first down, and what DeBerg was trying to do on first down, is at least get that 5 yards back and then go into your running game. I still think their power on both these teams is running the football.
2nd and 15. Thomas again, and he's got it on a low ball at the 25-yard line. Patrick Hunter says he picked it off the turf. The official says no. Thomas makes the catch.
Low ball inside. Do a lot of baseball, do you?
Yeah.
Well, they picked up 10 of it. Now they're in a 3rd and 5 situation. And you're still in a situation here where the Chiefs will throw the football.
So that usually means that Todd McNair checks in, and he does, and they'll flip into the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. hard, ready to snap that ball back. Up high, J.J. Burden with the catch.
J.J. Burden with the catch, but I'll tell you, J.J. looking at DeBerg, I say, you know, get it down just a little bit. I know I'm going to get hit, and I'm paid to go up and get the football, but look where he has to go to get it. And he knows that he's going to get nailed as soon as he comes down. Patrick Hunter was there, number 27, but they did get the first down.
Burden's a good story. He was a Cleveland Browns draft choice when Marty Schottenheimer was head coach, blew his knee out in minicamp. Was really out of football then as he tried to mend, and Schottenheimer took him here with him to Kansas City. Okoye to the 40-yard line, and that's a little bit more like Kansas City's offense right there.
You've got to get Christian Okoye going straight upfield. Jacob Green, number 79, he just plays off the block here. Now watch Jacob. He knows that Okoye has already squared himself up. He comes back in and helps out on the play. That's just super play by the defensive end.
Second down now. 5:25 to go here in the first half. Jacob Green made a nice defensive play on Kansas City's last series, batting down a DeBerg pass. Alfredo Roberts in motion. And Okoye over the 40 to the 43-yard line. And they'll come up third down and middle yardage again.
You know, I want just watching Jacob Green again. Now he comes upfield. He watches the tight end, Alfredo Roberts. He goes in motion, comes back, and that's one of the guys he has to be aware of. But as he was doing that, the guy that pulls out is Lutz, number 72. Watch this, and he sets up the block for him. Lutz just kicks Jacob Green to the outside, and Christian runs inside for about 3 yards. There's not much you can do about that.
Third down now, and again into the shotgun on 3rd and 4. They're 3 for 6 on third down conversions. A lot of time for DeBerg, but he cannot hook up with Emil Harry. The Kansas City offense sputters again.
You know, it really is amazing when you're looking at Kansas City and Marty shaking his head. The one thing that Marty Schottenheimer told us yesterday is that they have to run the football and be consistent running the football. They haven't been able to do that. They've been able to put a drive together. And if you take a look at the passes that DeBerg is throwing, there hasn't been a pass over 12 yards.
Barker punts it away to Chris Warren. Takes it at his 15 and is hit right away. That's Todd McNair. 43-yard punt and 0 on the return.
And Eugene Robinson, number 41, was blocking. We have an illegal man downfield. We have a flag down, but Eugene Robinson was blocking McNair, and he got away from him and made the play. Just outstanding special teams.
This is going to be wiped out, I believe. Yes, it is, as McNair, the second-year player out of Temple, makes the nice play on the punt coverage, but Tom White says we're going to take it back, fellas.
Ineligible member of the kicking team downfield, number 65. We will replay 4th down.
Todd McNair, I mean, it just super coverage, and that's one of the reasons why he's one of the wide guys going down on the special teams. Eugene Robinson was blocking him, and you'll see it right at the top of your screen. Eugene Robinson is right there, and we'll watch McNair comes off and still makes the play. That's outstanding.
Now the snap will come from the 37-yard line. The penalty was called on Frank Winters, who is the long snapper for Kansas City.
Hey, take it out now.
Boy, Barker nails this one. Warren back inside his 10. Well, they do a little bit better after the penalty, surprisingly so, because Barker nailed that one. They would have started at their own 15, but now the ball is out at the 21-yard line. Good job by the Kansas City punter, Barker. 3-3 here in the first half.
160 horses. That's what Chevy S10 packs into the biggest V6 engine ever put in a compact pickup. Enough power to help switch more truck owners to Chevy last year than to any other truck. The move to Chevy is becoming a stampede. More people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
Neither snow nor rain, of night. Stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
By using a complete address, you can help us deliver even better on a promise we made a long time ago.
Your bank charging you to use your own money? Every time you write a check, they charge you? Every time you use their ATMs, they charge you? It adds up fast. Well, that's why you should be checking at Great Western. With a Great Western checking account, there's no per-check charge. No charge to use their ATMs. You keep that money. Check with Great Western Bank. Call and ask for the branch nearest you.
Tuesday, a $1 million madam gets busted for a crime that's more than just a case of indecent exposure.
I've got the AIDS virus.
A life and death story of Law and Order, Tuesday.
Back at Arrowhead Stadium, there's Bill Cowher, the young defensive coordinator of Kansas City. Incidentally, let me just say, his name is being prominently mentioned as a head coaching candidate in Cleveland. He was in Cleveland as an assistant coach of Marty Schottenheimer. And Art Modell always liked Bill Cowher. And he's built a great defense here in Kansas City. John L. Williams for Seattle gets a hole and bends out over the 25-yard line. Let's see where they finally put him down. Near the 29. So he gets a big chunk on first down, close to 9 yards.
Jimmy, you know, I just have the feeling you sit here and you watch a game like this where they're predominantly running football teams and they're trying to make something happen with the run, occasional pass in their play action deal. But when you look at a game like this, tied at 3-3 with 3 minutes and 30 and counting in the first half, that the defense, one of these two defenses are going to make a play to win this football game.
It's a good thing we didn't have a heavy meal before this game. The way it started, or we could be in Napland. All right, we got some tape or a paper on the field. That is not a flag. On short yardage, second down, and just a couple to go for a first down. Boy, a big hit by Percy Snow on John L. Williams. And they'll mark him just over the 30-yard line, and it will be third down and short again. Let's check the 10-minute ticker now. And Chicago's moved out ahead of Atlanta, as you see at Soldier Field. 10-3 the score in that one. New Orleans up on top of Tampa Bay 14-7. And at Arrowhead Stadium, 3-3 with 2:45 to go here in the first half. And third down and less than 1. 1 for 4 on third down conversions for the Seahawks. Derek Fenner. Unbelievable. They cannot get it again. And they'll punt.
Jimmy, one of the big problems with Seattle's offense that I see is that when you're playing 2 and 3, sometimes in that situation, 3 tight ends, what happens is that you just jam up the defense. Look at this picture here. Look at all the defensive players. Linebackers, defensive backs are there to make the play. And look at on the top. There's Albert Lewis. He doesn't do anything. Nice trick. That was a nice trick. But, you know, the defense, when you jam the offense in, all you do is jam the defense in. You've got to spread them out.
And we are at the 2-minute warning. So the crowd roaring for the Kansas City defense, hoping that maybe they can win this one. 3-3. We'll be right back.
Before this, you never heard of cold filtered. Before this, you never heard of genuine draft taste in a bottle. Now hear this. Get out of the old, get into the cold.
Cold filter taste what it's all about. Never heat pasteurized, so the rich, smooth taste don't cook out. Those who discover its real draft taste, the world can be a very cool place.
Get out of the old, get into the cold. Miller Genuine Draft.
Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you.
Not long ago, Honda and Toyota were known for the highest mileage. But today, there's Geo, the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America. Get to know Geo at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know.
Anybody thought about dynamite?
Next Saturday, Jerry Tarkanian and the national champion Running Rebels take the Soviet Union to the hoop.
Paul, in the rich tradition and heritage of Kansas City Chiefs football, there you see the '69 world champions.
Yeah, that's...
Actually, the N and S are gone. Well, most of the N's got it, too.
Well, they just want to let people know that this is a different country that they won it.
Rick Donnelly to punt. There's a flag down because Danny Copeland got grabbed as he was rushing the punter. So Seattle's going to get nailed here.
J.J. Burden on the return. There's a penalty on
J.J. Burden returned it to the 21-yard line, but this one's coming back. Someone just grabbed Danny Copeland, number 25 for Kansas City, and hurled him to the ground, Paul.
When you see a guy break free and he's coming up the middle, all of a sudden he disappears, it's got to be holding. The referee was right there. Derek Thomas was also back there in the backfield.
Of course, you gotta do something against these guys because they've blocked 5 already this year.
It may have been on Rufus Porter.
97 on the kicking team. 10 yards. 4th down.
All right, let's see if we can pick it up here.
97 in the white is Rufus Porter. And here comes Copeland right here. Now watch him, and he just grabs him right by the jersey. He goes down. Rufus, nice move, though, to get out of there, but it was he already had been caught.
Now remember, this guy Rufus Porter went to the Pro Bowl because of his great special teams play.
Well, that was great until one time you get caught, you know. Always a good play if you don't get caught.
1 every 7.8 attempts.
Here they come.
Finally got it away. Driving J.J. Burden back to his 26. And after getting flagged for the penalty, Rufus Porter comes back and makes the tackle of J.J. Burden out at the 34-yard line. A 54-yard punt by Rick Donnelly, who has handled the Kansas City special teams pressure very, very well.
Some people see shaving as something you do for 3 minutes a day. At Braun, we see it as something you do for a lifetime, and we think you should make the best of it. The Braun Shaver, with its 3 shaving positions. Designed for those who choose to make a virtue out of necessity. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
A little brains, a little luck, and a lot of late nights. A good family, a good spot, and some good advice. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G standing behind me. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G standing behind me.
Oh, 5 more minutes. It's our anniversary. Let's call it sick.
Can't.
Oh, 10 years deserves something.
True.
Haven't I made you coffee for 10 years?
Haven't I had to drink it? Now, come on.
Why?
Show your friends this. Happy anniversary.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. This year, tell her you'd marry her all over again.
Okay, I'll show him. Tomorrow.
Thrill of their lifetime and yours. The NBA on NBC.
1:39 left here in the first half. Kansas City with the ball in a 3-3 tie with Seattle, and they have 2 timeouts left from their own 34-yard line. DeBerg again, he's high on his throw over the head of Emil Harry, and Steve DeBerg's having a lot of trouble throwing the football.
He has not been on target all day long. Now, you know, we talk about this game, and it's been, if you like defense, it's a great defensive football game because both defenses are superb. You know why? There's only been, I think, close to 150 yards in total offense with both teams. Look at this. 158 yards total offense in the first half.
And really, Seattle's, Paul, comes down to one play almost on the John L. Williams pass catch.
That's right.
DeBerg 5 for 13, throwing the ball 32 yards. Double clutches. Oh, big hit. Robert Blackman sticks Emil Harry out at the 34-yard line. The rookie Robert Blackman with a nice tag.
You know, you don't even throw this ball. I mean, because you're going to get your receiver killed.
They just do not look good, and they're trying to hurry up the offense right now, and even that looks a little slow. Caught by Stephon Pay. Near midfield and pushed back. They'll give him the 50-yard line, and the clock continues to run. We're under a minute.
Hurry up offense. At that time, the reason that pass was completed because DeBerg had all the time to throw the ball.
They have 2 timeouts left. Robb Thomas to the Seattle 42-yard line. Now they got to burn one more. They got to use a timeout here with 40 seconds remaining. Kansas City will have 1 remaining as DeBerg is trying to come up with some points here to give Kansas City the lead just before halftime.
In today's higher revving and hotter running engines, wear is a greater problem than ever before. Oil breakdown can shorten the life of vital engine parts. That's why there's Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, because driving today can be a grind. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
There's your score. Tied 3-3. Norm Johnson, Nick Lowry field goals. That's all that's up on the board. 40 seconds left in the half, and Kansas City's got 1 left. 1 timeout remaining.
All right, but they still have 40 seconds. So if you're going to go deep on a play, just throw it in the middle of the field, because in a prevent defense, the middle will be open. Take that long gainer and get yourself in position for a field goal. You still have 1 timeout.
They're at the Seattle 42, and Jacob Green jumped offside. Robb Thomas has the catch inside the 35 of Seattle to the 34-yard line. I think you got to turn this down, take the play, don't you?
You turn it down, take the play, because they picked up about 8 yards on the pass play. But again, if you take a look at the defensive secondary, the man that's going to be open is the guy coming across the middle, not running down it, but coming across the middle in a crossing pattern, because it opens up the defense.
The penalty was on Eric Hayes. All right, we want to remind you, coming up at halftime, NFL Live, Bob Costas, Will McDonough, O.J. Simpson with all the scores and highlights from around the league as we get Kansas City with 32 seconds left in the half. J.J. Burton inside the 25, first down.
That was a heads-up play by J.J. Burton, because he was in from the sideline marker about 16 yards. He just turned and got as much as he possibly could, but yet still get out of bounds. Now DeBerg is waiting for J.J. Burton to come into the middle a little bit. He comes in about at the numbers. Now watch the move he makes back to the outside. Just a sprint, get as much as you can, and get out of bounds. Plenty of time.
27 seconds, and now they're inside the 25 of Seattle. DeBerg giving it a shot to the end zone. Almost intercepted. Patrick Hunter was right there and almost made an over-the-shoulder catch.
DeBerg didn't have enough arm to throw the ball away. I mean, there was double coverage downfield, and Patrick Hunter almost makes the interception. DeBerg is looking right to the outside. They ran a post-corner pattern, and here's the ball, and Hunter's the only one that has a chance to catch. If he catches the ball, it's an interception because he's in the end zone.
21 seconds remaining now in the half. Kansas City with 1 timeout left. And Patrick Hunter almost came up with the big defensive play of the game for Seattle. 8th play of the drive. Across the middle, incomplete. Emil Harry down at the 5-yard line tried to stretch out and make the catch. And now it's 3rd down with 17 seconds left.
Eugene Robinson was there, but that pass across the middle, had that ball been a little bit shorter, Harry would have had it. Now here's Hunter coming across here. But look where the ball is. If it's there, there is a chance for the catch, and that's in the middle. You only have one-on-one coverage there.
Back into the shotgun, 17 seconds left. Holding on to one timeout in a 3-3 tie. It's Calvert there running the ball, and he gets down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. It's a first down with 10 seconds left. And they have used the last timeout.
They have used the last timeout, but when you see the quarterback take a timeout with 10 seconds left to go, obviously they want to get at least one more pass play into the end zone that they have time to complete before they kick the field goal. Otherwise, you let it run down to about 3 seconds and then call your timeout and take the field goal.
Marty Schottenheimer conferring with Steve DeBerg, first of all, to make sure that they had the first down, which they did. Now they use the last timeout.
40-second timeout.
So they'll use the timeout to talk it over. And we'll take a timeout here to tell you about next Sunday here on NBC. More great football action, 12:30 Eastern Time. It's NFL Live. And most of you will see Merriam Butts and those rejuvenated San Diego Chargers collide with the tenacious defense of these Kansas City Chiefs right here at Arrowhead. Others will see Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers, just one game out of first place in the AFC Central, go against the Cleveland Browns with their new head coach, Jim Schaffner. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. NFL Live, we've got the lineup. Paul is in Cleveland next week.
I'm going to Cleveland. You're going to Buffalo.
That's right. 78,000 of your buddies will be at Cleveland Stadium.
So if you're driving down the thruway, stay on your side. I don't want to run into you.
Well, they've talked it over, and they're going to kick the field goal, Paul, with 10 seconds left.
Well, this is smart because you only have 10 seconds. You have no more timeouts. If something happens, you know, but you do really have time to go into the end zone for one play. They would rather be assured of the 3 with Lowry, who's walking back to the 30, now to the 25. He'll line it up, fix his helmet.
30-yard field goal attempt to give them the lead here at the end of the first half.
Seattle.
On that right corner, I believe Dwayne Harper jumped offside. The kick is good.
And you take it. You do not take points off the scoreboard.
That's what Marty Schottenheimer is saying. Yep, decline it. Decline the penalty. Let's go in. Ahead 6-3. And that's what they'll do.
Offsides. Defense. Penalty is declined. Field goal is good.
That is concerned. Well, there's only 7 seconds, but, you know, you just do not take points off the board.
Do you realize he's been their only offense now for the last couple of weeks? Nick Lowry, 3 field goals against the Raiders, 2 field goals here today in the first half against Seattle. So the last 5 Kansas City scores have come by the way of his foot.
And what better man to have? I mean, he is probably the best kicker in professional football today.
7 seconds remaining here in the first half. All right, let's go back now.
All right, here's the field goal. Nothing spectacular. The hold is there. Brewer has it. Follow through by Lowry. And right in the center of the goalpost. Doesn't get any better than that.
See, I always think that spinning those laces, that's where I'd get gooped up.
That's another reason why you were never a holder.
A lot of people would be very happy that I wasn't.
You know, people don't realize how important that is. You know, you've got 3 things that they're very important on a field goal. You got the guy that's snapping the ball, the holder, and then of course the kicker. And that holder is so important just to get the ball in the right spot because that's what the kicker looks at. He looks at a spot.
6-3. Kansas City in the lead. 7 seconds to go in the half. He squirts one on the ground. James Jones picks it up and runs it out of bounds at the 33-yard line. J.C. Pearson knocked him out with 3 seconds left and 1 play for Seattle.
Did you see me yesterday with that onside kick?
Absolutely. Let's go back to yesterday's Kansas City practice. Now, we just don't have the video because, by golly, I left it back in my hotel room.
You did?
Yeah. But anyway, Kansas City is practicing their onside kick. And Marty Schottenheimer yells for Paul McGuire to come out on the good hands team. Can you believe that, on the good hands team? So Nick Lowry squibs one on the ground, and doesn't McGuire make the catch?
Picked it up and scored. Thank you. Forgot that part.
Last play of the half. Incomplete. Jeff Chadwick and Paul Scansey were there to try and make the catch. Well, defense. That was the cry here at Arrowhead Stadium in the first half. And it is 6-3 Kansas City leading over Seattle here in the first half. Now let's go to NFL Live in New York, and here's Bob Costas.
All right, Jim, thanks very much. Before we check the NFL scoreboard, a college note here. We have it now on very good authority that Notre Dame will accept an Orange Bowl bid. Now, this is despite the fact that Penn State and USC still remain on the Notre Dame schedule. Still, Orange Bowl officials are confident enough to extend the bid to the presently #1 ranked team in the country. Notre Dame will accept that bid, go up against the Big 8 champions, and they have told all other interested bowl parties to back off. It'll be Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl this year, even should they lose one or both of their remaining 2 games. Now, on to the scoreboard. The Dolphins and the Jets are deadlocked 3 apiece at halftime in the Meadowlands. The Dolphins, of course, at 7-1, have won 5 in a row. They beat the Jets in a tough game earlier this year, had to come from behind to do it at Joe Robbie. This one on the Jets' home field, deadlocked in the wind at 3 apiece. OJ has more on that in just a moment. Buffalo gets 3 Jim Kelly touchdown passes in the second quarter. They take a 21-7 halftime lead at home over Phoenix. Buffalo trying to win their 7th in a row and go to 8-1 and stay tied with Miami atop the AFC East. That's if Miami beats the Jets. Obviously, if the Jets can upset the Dolphins, Buffalo can claim first place alone with a victory today. In the game you're watching, Kansas City with the 6-3 lead at Arrowhead halftime over the Seahawks. Chicago coming up on halftime at Soldier Field and leading Atlanta 17-3 as the Bears try to win for the 8th time in 9 outings this year. Neil Anderson has an 8-yard touchdown run, his 12th TD of the year. That's the top figure in the NFL. New England at home against Indianapolis. The Colts happen to be the only team the Patriots have beaten this year. They did it in week 2. Since then, they've lost 6 in a row. Today, they lead 10-3 at halftime. The 3 Colt points on a 54-yard Dean Biasucci field goal. Minnesota now moves to the 3rd quarter at the Silverdome in Pontiac. The Vikings leading the Lions 7-0 on Rich Gannon's 1-yard touchdown run. Andre Ware started at quarterback for the Lions. He's still in there as the second half begins, but he's thrown 2 interceptions thus far. Tampa Bay trailing at halftime in New Orleans 14-7. Craig Ironhead Hayward with a big first half, 93 yards rushing, including a 47-yard touchdown run. Last week, he ran for 122 yards. Chris Chandler is at quarterback today for the Bucs in place of the ineffective Vinny Testaverde. He ran 12 yards for a first-quarter Tampa touchdown, but it's the Saints 14-7 at the half. Juice, your thoughts on the first half of the Dolphins-Jets game?
Well, at the top of the show, we were telling you how tough this Dolphin defense was. Now, they've gone 10 quarters without giving a touchdown, but they have an assist today, and that's the win. It's impossible to throw the ball downfield with any degree of accuracy in the wind. The ball comes at you like a knuckleball. I recall playing a game in the wind against the Jets when it was 2 minutes to go in the game before Joe Namath completed his first pass, and that was the first completion by any team in the game.
Yeah, Bob, I think Juice is right on the money. I've been to a lot of games in Meadowlands in recent years, and the wind always seems to pick up later in the day. So I think the team that does the best job with the ball when they have the wind in the second half in that game will win it.
Will OJ stand by? We'll come back to both you gentlemen in the second half of our halftime report, which will be with you right after this.
He's Tom Flores, general manager of the Seattle Seahawks. In his 29 years in the NFL, he has won 4 Super Bowls. But throughout his career, he has never forgotten his roots.
Giving young people opportunities has always been important to me. That's why I've worked as a United Way volunteer throughout my NFL career, helping young people like these in Seattle's El Centro de la Raza program. I want to give courage, hope, and love to these young, beautiful people, to give them the same chances I had growing up. Here, they receive help so they can stay in school, and counseling so they can mature and make their contributions to a better community and a better world. When you give to the United Way, you're showing that you care about them. So now, they would like to thank you. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gracias, Tom.
Yes, gracias. The United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Scientists predict major earthquakes throughout the United States. Among those hardest hit will be New York, St. Louis, Seattle, Boston, Memphis, and Salt Lake City. Now, an extraordinary motion picture that will help you and your family prepare for the big one on NBC tonight.
I was a star athlete and a rock and roll drummer. Everything came easy to me. One night I drank and drove and wrecked my car. I woke up in the hospital 1 month later. Now the only thing that comes easy for me is breathing.
Please, don't drink and drive.
Recently, PGE helped a flour company improve their product. When we got done, their business dried up fast. And they thanked us for it. Industrial dehumidifier, one of 900 energy solutions we've suggested. PGE, not just your energy source, your energy resource.
Fish Alaska, tonight at 6:30.
Okay, welcome back to NFL Live at halftime. It's time for a quick check on some stories we've reported on earlier this season. 2 weeks after being linked to an alleged drug smuggling ring, Viking kicker Donald Igwebuike was indicted by a federal grand jury in Tampa, Florida on Friday. Charges include conspiracy to import over 100 grams of heroin from Igwebuike's native Nigeria.
Donald Igwebuike faces a maximum penalty on all counts of 120 years imprisonment and $6 million fine.
Igwebuike says he expects to be cleared. The investigation into just what happened to Boston reporter Lisa Olson in the Patriots locker room is now over. Investigator Philip Hyman delivered his 60-page report to the commissioner this past week.
Yes, I received it on Wednesday, and I'll be doing something about it in the next couple of weeks.
Can you give us any hints about what it showed? Or?
No hints whatsoever.
So the commissioner playing coy about this. What insight can you offer, Will?
Well, it's not going to come out this week from what I understand. I think it's probably about 10 days from now. The thing I like about it, Bob, is he's going to make public the complete report. He's just not going to make a statement from what the NFL has said so far. He's going to come out with a 60-page report, and then everybody can judge for themselves what happened on that day and how the Patriots management reacted to it. Those are the two big questions.
It's a report of the facts, as Hyman has been able to piece them together, but it doesn't contain a recommendation for action. That's entirely up to Tagliabue.
That's right. It contains no judgment by the council. He just says, here's the story, make of it what you will, and make your decision off of that.
OJ, how about the controversy regarding Phoenix's bid for a Super Bowl? How do you gauge player sentiment around the league? Obviously, they're in favor, in large part, of a Martin Luther King holiday, but how deeply felt is that sentiment?
Well, because we have a majority of black players in the league, I'm sure it's very deeply felt, but I don't think this